Welcome back to the news at 10. Now let's take a look at some sports. Here's Ayotunde Balogun.
Time now for some sports news. In her active days, she was known as Nigeria's Queen of the Track. Today, Mary Onyali Omagbemi says she wants a quick implementation of the recommendations of the Sports Reform Committee. The committee last week submitted its report and recommendations to the Sports Minister, Solomon Dalong, on better ways to improve the country's sports. The former sprint queen, who is also a member of the committee, says it's high time the country stopped living on its past glory.
We have all heard how sad and depressed the nation was after 2012 Olympics, and then continued on to 2016. Thanks for our golden bronze. We need to stop living on the glories of Atlanta 96, which I was a member of. If at now, after 20 years of what I did, flying the green, white, green flag high, we have not had another opportunity to get excited like we did in 96, then we are all sleeping. It's time we wake up.
Now to football. Uganda coach Milutin Sredojevic has expressed sheer joy and content after guiding the Cranes to their first appearance at the Africa Nations Cup for the first time since 1978, when they reached the final in Ghana. Michu took over the helm of Ugandan football in May 2013 and worked tirelessly to deliver the much-coveted place at the Africa Nations Cup. The Serbian tactician, who was approached for the Super Eagles coaching role at some point, started his 16-year coaching journey on the African continent with Ugandan league giants SC Villa. Uganda became the first East African nation to qualify for Africa's premier football event since Kenya and Rwanda took part at the 2004 edition in Tunisia. Catalan giants FC Barcelona have announced that the Brazil legend Ronaldinho will serve in an ambassadorial role as the club gets set to open a new office in the United States. Ronaldinho, who currently doesn't play for a team but hasn't indicated he's ready to retire either, will be one of the club's representatives at the inauguration of the new Park Avenue office in New York City. Barca hope to expand commercial activity in international markets and increase revenue with a new presence in the United States 2 years after opening an office in Hong Kong. And that's a wrap in sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Ijoma will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
The Ethiopian government has admitted 23 people died following a fire that broke out at the maximum security Kilinto jail on Saturday in the capital Addis Ababa. A statement from the government said 21 people suffocated at the scene of the fire, while 2 others died while trying to escape. Local media said the fire was preceded by intense gunfire and that it was started deliberately by people who wanted to escape. Photos released on social media showed plumes of smoke rising from the prison compound. There's been an unprecedented wave of protests in Ethiopia in recent months, especially in the Oromia region, by members of the country's largest ethnic group since November last year. Some activists in the protests are being held in that jail. And South Africa's ruling ANC headquarters today faced a protest of its own against its leadership by some of its young members. The protest, with the title #Occupy Luthuli House, the ANC headquarters, was however met with resistance from fellow ANC Youth League members. Our South Africa Bureau Chief Betty Dibia was there and now reports.
The battleground today was meant to be the ANC headquarters. This is yet another twist in the tale of the many troubles of the ANC, drawing even more attention to the party. On one side was a faction of past and current ANC Youth League members calling for the party's top leaders to quit, including President Jacob Zuma. Their tagline, #Occupy Luthuli House.
We want to build the ANC of Oliver Tambo, the ANC of Walter Sisulu, the ANC of Nelson Mandela.
On another was an intimidating rest of the Youth League backed by the ex-military wing MK veterans. Their tagline,
"Don't try it. As the piece of sample Gauteng. Don't try it."
Apart from heavy security presence, the MK veterans made a defense ring around the building to prevent the aggrieved from going in.
We are children of the ANC and we have every right to come through.
There were a high level of threats to many of our comrades. Some, they were even threatened that if they were to come here, they are going to deal with them.
There were people who were attempting to occupy the Tool House. Now these members of the Youth League came out in the numbers to come and defend their own revolutionary house. Firstly, to ensure that leadership of the ANC and everybody inside the Tool House is safe.
They are the ones who have been coward for not facing the reality that is facing the ANC. In fact, instead of telling the president to resign because he remains the elephant in their house in terms of many of the problems that we have, they chose to take a shortcut and say they want an early conference.
The hashtag Occupy Luchili House soon changed to the presentation of a memorandum of concerns to the ANC Secretary General, William Antashi. The pro-ANC leadership group wouldn't even hear of that. But after much shoving and negotiations, the Secretary General eventually received the memorandum amidst tight security. He called for calm.
There should be no bloodshed. You have defended the organization. You have defended the Tule House. Don't give hooligans free airtime, comrade. I'm appealing to you.
The hashtag Occupy Luchili House group soon left, but the war songs were still far from over. From Johannesburg, South Africa, Betty Delia, Channels Television News.
We return home now to something less stressful. On entertainment news tonight, Adekunle Gold wins big at the 2016 Nigerian Entertainment Awards in New York. Here's Victoria Ido with more.
On entertainment news tonight, Raven singer Simisola Ogunleye, popularly known as Simi, says she hasn't received any acting offer, even though she has expressed a desire to act. The singer, who received impressive reviews after acting opposite fellow singer Falz in the short film Soldier, said she's open to continue acting, but surprisingly hasn't gotten many offers.
Well, I've not even had time, for any acting or anything like that per se, but people come and I feel like it's like a big deal, or like I think it's something I'm going to enjoy doing, then I'll definitely be interested in doing it.
Alternative rock YBNL singer Adekunle Gold was honored as the best new act at the 2016 Nigerian Entertainment Award, which was held in New York, United States. Gold beats off competition from Nula, YC, Humble Smith, MZ, Kiss, Toby Gray, and other winners included Aramide, who bagged the award for the Alternative Artist of the Year at an event which, according to Wild Report, was poorly attended. Former Chocolate City singer Brimo has released a video of his latest collaboration with Mr. Easy Alajo Shomolu, a track of a new album. The video to the contemporary Afrobeat tune was directed by cinematographer Uche Chukwu and produced by a team Salty.
You ask me how I survive, I will say, I learned a proverb that stuck with me my whole life. You're not your own man until your father dies. And that became true for me when my father passed and I moved to Brooklyn.
Nigerian-American artist Judena has dropped the visuals to Becoming. The Nigerian-American singer, who is associated with Janelle Monáe's Wonderland crew, had a huge hit with the 2015 classic Man. And that's all on the entertainment news tonight. It's back to the news at 10.
Thanks a lot, Victoria. And the main news again. Military operations in the Niger Delta today took a tragic turn after 2 soldiers were feared drowned along the Brass waterfront in Bayelsa State. As part of the operations, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukuru Buratai, has reached out to militants in the region in an effort to secure lasting peace. And that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Hunyato. Do have a good night.